A WWE return has been confirmed, plus so much more. We're going to talk about it. Don't forget, we're giving away this championship belt once we hit 100,000 subscribers. So if you want a chance to win, go ahead and click subscribe today. Welcome back to TAS. You guys can follow me on X at AngoPW. I want to kick things off with Matt Hardy. He said some very interesting stuff in the latest Extreme Life with Matt Hardy podcast. He essentially admitted some frustrations with AEW and kind of with himself and his brother and overall creative. He says, I'll just say it, creatively, just the way we've been utilized, like the last 4 months, it's been very frustrating. We've been very patient, but there has been a lot of frustration with the things that we've done and kind of how we've been utilized in some ways. So I feel like the natural thing to play off of is like channel that frustration and kind of put it into what we're doing. And to those people, if they hate us, we will give them a reason to hate us. You know what I mean? And if there's something we can do there to evolve our characters and once again reinvent into something we've never done. Because there's never really been like an aggressive take by any means necessary, like cheat if you have to, or break the rules if you have to, or be bad Hardy Boys version of the Hardys, you know? We've done stuff like Broken Matt and Brother Nero. There was a time where he was the Antichrist. And obviously I've been a heel because I was like, more of the heel because he was all historically the more popular of the two. But I think two of us together in a new role, I think it would be very refreshing. I think it's something that we could kind of use to get back to where we want to be. And then he basically was talking a little bit about how they were considered, one of the most iconic tag teams of all time. And basically, long story short, I think what Matt Hardy really wants at this point is to get to the point where they are so valuable that when they actually put other people over, it means something. And, Brother Zay, Brother Nero, Matt Hardy, they just lost a trios match against Top Flight and Action Andretti. And, that's cool, right? They put them over. But I do agree with the sentiment, creatively in the last few months, the Hardys haven't been utilized that well. I do agree with that. Do I think that's actually fault of AEW's? I do not. Unfortunately, Jeff Hardy and in AEW, it's a tricky situation for Tony Khan. And for Tony Khan to establish that level of trust to utilize him differently, it's difficult. You know what I'm saying? Tony Khan, I'm sure, would like to do more. Unfortunately, Jeff Hardy has kind of been seen as the problem. Do I think that can be fixed? I do. But from a business perspective, I can understand why Tony Khan has a harder time utilizing the Hardys in the way that he would probably hope for. So it's definitely something to pay attention to. I do think they should refresh a little bit. How they go about it, I'm very intrigued to see. Guys, speaking of talent who are frustrated, Drew McIntyre, we've known he's frustrated. Is it a work? Is it a shoot? Who knows, right? Well, basically, he's been coming out on Twitter with a variety of videos on TikTok, basically just responding to fans who, also see some of the issues that he is expressing. But one thing that was interesting is Triple H put out a new poster for Royal Rumble, and Drew McIntyre is not on the poster at all. In a new post, basically, he kind of called it out. And it's super interesting because nobody really knows if Drew McIntyre is going to be re-signing or not. I do believe Drew McIntyre will end up staying with WWE. PWInsider.com did report that they have not entered deep discussions, but the company still feels like there's plenty of time to work out a deal before his contract expires shortly after WrestleMania. And the belief is that he is willing to let his contract expire if necessary so he can go back and spend more time with his family in Scotland. In regards to the poster for Royal Rumble, he says something of now do you guys understand my frustrations? And I genuinely believe that Drew McIntyre is working as a character here. Just the other day, there was the talks of Drew McIntyre walking out of Survivor Series being pissed off. But then Dixie Carter actually posted some photos on Monday Night Raw or during Monday Night Raw of her backstage and stuff. And when she was back there before the show started, Drew McIntyre was in the background looking in great spirits. So to me, I'm leaning towards Drew McIntyre working everybody here. I think WWE should lean into it. I think Drew McIntyre is obviously a top free agent when he becomes a free agent. But with reports that WWE and Endeavor are looking at spending more money to retain talent, I feel like WWE re-signing Drew McIntyre is a no-brainer. I've said it on this channel before too. I think there's a lot of intrigue, for me at least, to see Drew McIntyre go to New Japan, just because I would be very interested in seeing what he can do in the G1 Climax. I personally am not in favor of Drew McIntyre going to AEW. I don't think AEW needs Drew McIntyre. But I think if Drew McIntyre wanted to work the UK, if he wanted to work TNA, if he wanted to work New Japan, I feel like it would be kind of fun. I was very much a fan of Drew Galloway in TNA. But of course, from a booking perspective, I actually really love what WWE is doing with Drew McIntyre right now. Everything is a slow burn. And the fact that he's so disgruntled and he's so pissed off, and he's a good heel, but like at the same time too, he's kind of like a baby face with heel tendencies. Seeing that type of tweener attitude from him, it's actually been very enjoyable to watch. And I would like to think that maybe WWE is going to re-sign him. I would like to think so. I would try to remain optimistic about that. But if he is working everybody, I mean, good for him, because he's doing a wonderful job with it. If he's not working everybody and there's like legitimate issues, I mean, that's obviously very unfortunate and not a good look for WWE. Drew McIntyre, in my mind, is still a top star in WWE. WWE is getting ready for a return. It's been confirmed. The OC is expected back on Friday Night SmackDown. PW Insider has reported that Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson are expected to be at SmackDown tonight in Brooklyn, New York. Gallows has obviously been off of television due to a knee injury. Basically, the plan here is to bring back the OC, which I am 1,000% in favor of. I'm a huge Mia Yim fan. Her being aligned with the OC is amazing. I want to see Mia Yim get some more storylines, be more involved in the women's division. SmackDown's women's division has been on absolute fire as of late, but at the same time too, I want to see newer faces being introduced to the division and actually having storylines. Mia Yim being involved in the OC automatically puts her on a different level. I would love to see her in a big push. I would like to see the group in a big push. I love the OC. I think if WWE is smart, you do Roman Reigns versus AJ Styles at the Royal Rumble. I think you do OC and Mia Yim with, multiple other stories. There's a lot of opportunities there on SmackDown. AJ Styles and Roman Reigns will be a great match. I also like the history there when AJ Styles debuted in WWE at Royal Rumble. Roman Reigns, the shocked face. I mean, it says it all. There's a good history there. And plus, if they ever want to do a 6-man tag match, you have Roman, Jimmy, and Solo versus the OC, Bloodline versus the OC. It's something I think there's a lot of potential with that. So I'm all for it. And I miss AJ Styles. I miss the OC. I feel like, injury obviously screwed up stuff. But now that they'll be back, I'm hoping WWE, they got Damage Control in the Bloodline, and they got Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits, and they got Judgment Day, and they got all these different factions now. This is a faction that I want to see WWE push as one of the top factions, and I hope that we get that. I would like to think Triple H is not dumb, and he'll probably make that happen, but you never know. So with that being said, guys, we're giving away this championship belt at 100K. If you guys want a chance to win, go ahead and click subscribe and follow me on X. I'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Peace.